Hi, this is Cooking with Marco. I'm your friend Marco, and we're coming from my kitchen in fabulous Las Vegas, Nevada, one of the culinary capitals of the world. And today I have a special show for you because it's New Year's Eve. And I have my friends here with cats. We have the tabby cat, and this is Merlot, and the Siamese cat, my friend Destiny, who's also known as Ni Hao Kailan. I found these two cats scratching and climbing a post at the Spearmint Rhino. Some of you gentlemen that's been to a bachelor party here in Las Vegas might be familiar with it, but our locals call it the ballet. And so I got them out of that situation, and now they're here with me, these little pussies. And we're gonna cook some fillets tonight. So I got the meat, I got everything we need to get going. Little bit about the preparation tonight. When I was growing up, my mom used to make steaks. She used to make them in the broiler. I gotta be honest with you, they were horrible. They tasted like shoe leather. She cooked them way too long. It tasted like crap. I wouldn't even feed these cats the steaks that my mom made. It took me 20 napkins to finish a meal because I was spitting out every single piece into the napkin and then hiding it under the table. And then when she left the room, I put it in the garbage. So I learned how to make steaks on the grill. I never cooked a steak in the oven before, and I cook on the grill like a manly man. So using fire, and but today it was actually snowing in Las Vegas, so we're gonna learn to cook a beautiful steak, restaurant style, that you would get good quality from any restaurant in Las Vegas, New York, Chicago, right in the oven here, and we're gonna show my mom how it's done. So I'll be right back and we'll start the preparation. Okay, so we're going to start preparation of these fine pieces of meat right here. And I'm going to introduce my first friends on Cooking with Marco and Cats. And we're going to bring in Hadley. Hadley, come on in. Welcome to my kitchen. And you brought Mr. Nibbles with you.
I found him outside.
What was he doing?
He was scratching up a hole.
Oh, naughty Mr. Nibbles. Mr. Nibbles was the cat that I told you was similar to the one that ate Roy Horn, Siegfried and Roy, but that was actually a white tiger, and this is a snow leopard. You know the difference? Yeah. Hey, what the? Get off of that. No, naughty, you're so naughty. Okay, so we have our meat, and it's a simple preparation. We just need our meat, some oil, our seasoning, and a cast iron skillet. You could use this as a murder weapon. You know that? Feel how heavy that is. It's pretty heavy, huh? Mm-hmm. Okay, so we got our meat out of the, and what I'll have you do is I'll have you pat each side. We're going to dry it off so that way we can have our seasoning stick to the meat. Okay, while she's doing that, we're going to talk about I'm going to talk about my meat today. So it's USDA prime beef. We use the finest cuts, and that's the first step in a good steak. You're doing fantastic. You can just flip those over and then pat the other side. So we're using USDA prime beef. Some people, get a little fancy today. They want to use Kobe beef. Those cows, you know what Kobe beef, what they do to those cows? They massage them, they feed them beer, they give them Netflix and chill. And but we're using US beef today. You're doing very good there, Hadley. Okay, so we got our beef nice and dry, therefore the seasoning can stick to the meat. Okay, and our next step, I'm going to have your dad actually come in because I think he would be really good at this next step, which is, brushing the oil onto the steak. We want to get a little light coating of oil, so we're going to have your dad, Jason. Jason, welcome to the stage. It's Jason. Hey, give him a big hand. Let's give him a big hand. So Jason.
Thanks, Pat.
We're gonna show you. Thank you for being on the show. It's New Year's Eve.
I got my Cooking with Marco and Cats. And Hadley as well with our aprons that also have cats. A lot of the cats we found from the shelter next door to the rhino. These are the ones that didn't quite make it.
Oh boy, that's sad.
Yeah, it is.
So we're going to show you the meat. What do you think about the meat? What is that, like 2 inches thick?
Yeah,
the girth?
I'd say 4 inches.
That's a lot of girth.
Yeah.
So we like our steaks thick. We like them girthy. Our wives like them thick and girthy. They don't like thin steaks. So what I'm gonna have you do, the next step is to brush some of this oil.
Oil, okay.
Yeah, you can use olive oil, you can use vegetable oil, and you can generously rub each side, or you can stroke the meat very generously.
I like to use 2 hands.
Yeah, up, down, like Mr. Miyagi, up, down, like paint the fence.
Paint the fence, yeah.
So we're stroking our meat. It's very thick. It's very succulent. The filet mignon we're using today is a nice cut of beef. It's decadent. Hadley, what do the cats call filet mignon?
I don't know.
Feline mignon. It's a fancy feast, don't you know? We're full of jokes today.
You never have too much oil.
Yeah, you got them nice and lubed. I like
Yeah,
to
they're
lube those
lubed up.
steaks. How about the other side?
We should probably flip them over.
Yeah, we'll flip those over.
I
And
call
we're gonna,
that spinning.
yeah, we're gonna lube up the other side. You
Very nice.
want them nice and lubed, so when we go to put them in this pan, they're gonna sizzle. The steak is gonna sizzle.
Yeah, especially if you want to fit 4 thick pieces of meat into something, you need a lot of oil.
Yeah,
Usually you can only get 1 or 2 into a pan this size, but I've been known to get 4 this size into the pan.
you can't just jam your meat into a pan dry. It's just not gonna happen.
No.
Okay, I think you got them good and lubed up there, and then
Yeah.
what we'll do is you want to go ahead and season them. So you can generously season each one. What we're using is, oh, that's a very excellent technique.
Yeah.
We're using Montreal steak seasoning. This is the secret, good
Oh.
technique.
Oh.
You just,
Started to get a cramp. Sorry.
you got a little of the seasoning in the oil. That's what,
Oh.
we use Montreal steak. That's the secret to bringing out the real flavor in, you taste that, you
Fingers
smell that?
good.
Yes,
Yeah, a little bit on my nose. Sorry.
that happens.
I'm gonna flip them over.
Yeah, you want to flip them over
I don't
and
wanna
then,
cross mix my.
yeah, I'll flip them over for you,
Yeah.
and we'll get the other side nice and seasoned.
I'm gonna use a different technique this time.
Yeah, the sprinkle technique.
Yeah.
That's
although
good.
this
Yeah, you
technique
can-
works a little better, I think.
So I think so too. I like that. But you know, I want you to give it a little spank because you want to get that seasoning. Just
Yeah,
Just
sometimes
give it
you
a
gotta
little-
rub it in.
yeah, sometimes a little rub, a little spank,
Yeah.
Yeah, it's
Yeah,
a
the
naughty
meat likes
piece of
that.
meat. It's a naughty piece of meat. No, yeah, you show them who's boss. Okay, so that gets the meat nice and ingrained into the to the cream.
Sorry, you guys watching me. I wasn't playing with the meat. This is
Sometimes you just gotta spank the beef. And that really, you can rub it, you can spank it, it's good. So, great. Our steaks are seasoned. We're gonna let them rest. We want the steaks to rest to room temperature and let that seasoning really seep into the tendons and into the fat of the steak. And we're gonna start to get this pan. I'm gonna put it in the broiler and we're gonna heat this pan up. And we'll come back at you right after that. Good? Welcome back to Cooking with Marco and Cats and Friends. Welcome back, Jason and Hadley. We're letting our girthy, thick meat rest for a while so it gets to room temperature. So when we cook it, it cooks evenly through. Jason did a good job lubing it up. And what's going on with the cats here? Hey, we got to break that up. What is happening with these felines? I'll tell you. Yeah, what are you going to do?
unpredictable.
So we're letting this rest, and we're going to check the mail because it's 2019. Would you check the mailbox? It's that first drawer, and see if we have anything special in there. Because I've been waiting for the mail to come because it's going to be 2019. And there it is. The 2019 Maine Coon Cats.
Oh,
So
Nibbles in
today's-
there?
No, Nibbles is not there. He's not a Maine Coon cat. A Maine
Oh.
Coon cat is the state. They are like cats, but they're larger with bigger paws, and they're good as hunters. And they're the state.
Are they from Maine?
They are
State
the.
of Maine?
They are. They are actually the state cat for Maine. And we can see some of these pussies in here. They are very beautiful and majestic cats.
Are any of them large? I like the big pussy.
Some of them do get quite large, larger than your normal house cat.
Are there any hairless varieties?
No, they all have quite a bit of fur.
The hairless. Never mind.
Look at this beautiful set of kittens right there. Anyway, I do digress, but the calendar is here. Thank you, Hadley, for checking the mail. Okay, so what we're going to do, we got the cast iron pans firing up in the broiler right there. They're getting sizzling hot, so hot. Sometimes my wife wears those granny panties around the house. It's so sizzling hot like these steaks. But we're going to get them in the pan, and we're going to get the show on the road. Okay, so we're getting our sizzling hot cast iron pans out of the broiler, and we're going to start searing these steaks 2 minutes on each side. So we're going to lock in those juicy juices, and we're going to get them in the pan. You'll see, you hear that sizzle? That's what I'm talking about. So we're going to do that for 2 minutes on each side, and we're going to get those juices locked in. Okay. We're going to turn these and we're going to show you, oh look at that nice sear. Can you see that? We're letting all those wet juices in, if you know what I mean. We're going to get the other sides. We'll give that a couple of minutes. Oh, look at that goodness. That's what that cast iron skillet does. It just sears the outside and gets those juices locked in. And there we go. Okay, so we got these all nice and seared, and now we're going to put the meat in the oven, okay? So we're going to open that big oven up and get the meat in there. And we're going to give those about 6 minutes on 500. Okay, so I just got this girthy, thick loin out of the oven, and we're going to place it here on a plate. We're going to let those rest for about 5 minutes. We're going to get a little nice tent and tent these guys. The internal temperature is around 120, 125, medium rare. We're going to get, they'll cook a little longer under the nice tent there, and we'll get them to 130, medium rare, just the way I like it, not like my mom's shoe leather steaks. Okay, so when we come back in a few minutes, we'll cut into one of these things and see if it was great success. You've been cooking with Marco and friends and cats, and my son Jordan and his best friend Griffin. Sometimes it gets a little hot in the kitchen, so I like to cool myself off. But our steaks have been resting here for about 5 minutes.
It's too hot in the kitchen, just get it out.
Okay. Okay, why don't you get out?
No.
This is my kitchen. Or just cool off, man.
All right, fine.
Okay.
Fine.
But anyway, how do you like your steaks cooked? Medium rare?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Let's just get rid of that thing. Let's take a look. We've had these steaks resting. They look beautiful. What do you say we cut into one of these things and see what it looks like?
Yeah.
Okay, so we're just going to cut in and see what our temperature... Oh, my God. Oh, God. What does that look like to you?
Too rare.
That looks like the perfect medium rare to me. I don't know about you, but where I come from, that's how it's done. Booyah! You've been cooking with Marco, cats, and friends. This is New Year's Eve edition 2019. Happy freaking New Year.
But where I come from, we just cook
Down
one side.
there.
You go